We are just over 30 days away from the beginning of the end of the D.C. Circulator. Now, the council voted to phase out the service as part of the budget. And this morning, drivers are speaking out about the loss. They're protesting on Freedom Plaza in just over 4 hours. And that's where we find our Jess Arnold this morning. And Jess, has the city come up with a plan yet to service the impacted routes?
Well, DDOT said that they are working with WMATA to pick up as many of these routes as possible, but they haven't yet released a final plan for that. Now, in terms of this phase out, that is beginning on October 1st and scheduled to end at the end of the year with Circulator service completely stopping. So to talk about the impact of this on all of these employees that are going to be affected, I want to bring in operator Natasha Guest here. She's joined by our emotional mental support, Dr. Rhonda Hamilton, with Palms Up. She's been joining us all morning too. But Natasha, I want to ask you, how has this process been? What have you been feeling as you've been getting these notices about how this is going to impact your life?
I've been feeling overwhelmed. So has my coworkers. It has impacted our lives, where it's destroying families. Most of us are dealing with mental health issues now, but not only that, we're losing pay. We don't have answers, and all we're asking is that the city be fair. We want a hearing so that we can sit down at a table and come up with a 5-year plan, a financial plan to help us. How do we transition overnight? I'm making a certain amount, let's say $80,000 a year, and then I go down to $50,000 in a week's time or in 60 days. That doesn't make sense. It's impossible for you to restart your life in 60 days. And that's what we've been given, 60 days. September 30th is what my notice say is when the layoffs will start. We've been told that we will be incorporated with WMATA. They've told us that we have to apply. Well, do you know we've received notices saying that there's a waiting list to get into a training class? We don't know how long the waiting list is. We don't know when we'll be in the class. So within that 60 days, when that time is up, what do? Severance pay. What are we going to do with 2 weeks, 3 weeks of severance pay? We have drivers that's been here 18 years, 60 years old. At 60, you can do early retirement if you've been 20 years on the job. They end our service right before the 20 years. Those people have been robbed. We've been robbed. It's been so much taken from us. We've been public servants, and the mayor is supposed to be someone that cares for this city and the people of the city. Her job is to serve the people of the city. She's done us no service. How do you take the budget and cut us completely out of the budget, but then you take money and move it, like renovating your home, for instance, out of the city budget? There are cameras on every corner. I know they make millions every month. Surplus money, where is that? Why can't you pull from there? They have $800 incentives for people to come to work. We come to work every day and you terminate my job. DDOT is supposed to repair the fare boxes on the bus. She said they eliminated services because the fares were down, ridership is down. That was a lie. How do you get those numbers if the equipment doesn't work?
Right. I believe Councilmember Charles Allen asked about that too, because that's one of the questions, right? How are you getting an accurate measurement? They thought they had
It's
still.
no way we can take cash at all. We cannot take cards as drivers. So if you're losing $30 million, do your job and replace the equipment.
Right. Yeah.
Why are we accountable for that? So we lose our job because the city doesn't want to spend money to fix their equipment?
Yeah, it's such an emotional moment. Like you said,
Yes.
I'm sure you just feel abandoned at being that little bit. So I appreciate you coming out and sharing that, because it's important to hear these perspectives throughout this conversation. I'm hoping you get that hearing. I did, talk to Councilmember Charles Allen's team to ask them if they do have that scheduled. They said they don't have the fall schedule put out yet, but this is definitely on the table as something that they would consider doing. So we'll, of course, look to see if that becomes finalized moving forward, guys.
All right, Jess Arnold reporting.